Hi, my name is Anslem and welcome to Lead Tutors Extra-Murals YouTube channel. I am your tutor here and today we are not teaching. I just want to show you tips that will help you in answering and scoring very high in your chemistry Jamb exams. Chemistry is one of those subjects that is taken by most science students who are preparing for Jamb. There are simple tips. A lot of students dread chemistry. The first thing I want to tell you in preparing for your chemistry exam is do not dread chemistry. You can understand chemistry. Somebody wrote the textbook. Believe that you can and you will. But let me just show you some simple tips that will assist you. And I'm speaking from experience preparing people and then also answering past questions. We have a lot of past questions on our channel. You can do well to see our videos in chemistry that we have answered. We have a lot of them, in the channel. Visit the channel, subscribe to it, like, and if you have questions, you can leave. So here are a few things that I think will help you in preparing for your chemistry exam. Number one, there are topics that are they are like no-brainer. You have to know them. You have to know them. There are certain topics that you cannot avoid. Number one, organic chemistry. You must know your organic chemistry, especially the organic chemistry of those heavy organic compounds. Heavy organic compounds like rubber, carbohydrate, polysaccharide, and all of those, sugar, and all of those things. From alcohol down. I'm not saying you shouldn't know from the beginning to alcohol, but from alcohol down, you just need to know your organic chemistry. Every year, Jamb bring not less than 5 questions from organic chemistry alone. In some years, it is up to 10. Imagine, if you know your organic chemistry very well, that means you're already sure of about 10 questions. Just imagine that. So know your organic chemistry. Know your organic chemistry like you know the back of your hand. Topics like metals, topics like electrolysis, topics like periodic table. You need to know some of these topics, some non-metals and all of that. You need to understand some of these topics like you really understand them. Know what Jamb keep repeating from this topic. For example, in periodic table, Jamb will always ask you for properties like how does the properties of elements change across the periodic table. Properties like electron affinity, electronegativity, ionization energy, ionic radius, atomic radius. They ask you for these properties. Know how they change across the periodic table. Know the group that has the most reactive metals, the group that has the most reactive non-metals, the group that have inert elements and most reactive non-metal, and then inert elements. You have to know these things. You need to know your gas laws. There is no year that at least 2 to 3 questions don't come out of kinetic theory and gas laws. So get yourself familiarized with some of this topic. Another thing that will help you in answering chemistry questions is that you must learn how to balance simple chemical equations. Learn how to balance simple chemical equations. Now, this is important because Jamb is not going to. Rarely do you have Jamb ask you to balance a chemical equation, but here and there they have questions like that. But they are going to bring questions that will require your knowledge of balancing chemical equation. Every year that comes, sometimes up to 3 of them, in a year. So you must learn how to balance simple chemical equation. The next thing is there are simple calculations that come out from for your chemistry in your chemistry Jamb exam. Note calculation in the laws of combination, like laws of multiple proportion, laws of definite proportion, and all of those things. You need to know some of those. You need to know gas laws. The general gas equation, the Charles law equation, the Boyle's law equation. You need to know calculations from Faraday's first law of electrolysis, Faraday's second law of electrolysis. You need to know in radioactivity, sometimes they bring questions in half-life, in chemistry. You need to know some of these calculations. So now this is something I need to just tell you up front. In most chemistry questions, they require you to know how to do simple proportion. Simple proportion is if this produce this, how much will this produce? You must, those are simple proportion questions. Once you know them, you cross multiply, you can find the answers. Yeah, so that will help you in the calculation. Chemistry calculations are not usually difficult if you understand, the maths, the principle behind the calculation. Sometimes you need to know diagrams for the preparation of certain important chemicals like tetraoxosulfate 6. Preparation of certain elements, certain gases. You need to know oxidizing agents, reducing agents, drying agents for certain compounds, or certain gases. You just need to know some of these things. You need some of this information at the tip of your finger as you prepare for your chemistry exam in Jamb. One more last thing as you prepare for your chemistry question that I think will be very, very, very helpful. Don't panic when you don't understand a certain question. You can leave it and probably come back to it. If you are trying to calculate something and you are not getting the answer, you know the question but you are not getting the answer, you are free to just leave it. Attempt other question and then come back to it. And spend more time to see if you can find the answer. I hope and I know this video has helped you. I wish you all the best in your chemistry exam. See you in the next video.